Hello ladies and gentlemen, Paul Chopper here, and today we're going to do a first impressions and mini guide of the new hero Revenant. This won't be like my in-depth guides which you can check out on my channel. I just don't feel after a few days that you can do a full guide on the new hero, but without further delays let's just jump right into it. So for the abilities I'm going to go over what each one does and how I feel about it. So the unique thing about Revenant is that he's an ability carry. He deals high damage from his abilities and he's a basic attack. He also reloads, being the first ever hero to do that in the game. So how does it work? Well, he has 4 rounds before he has to reload. He can reload whenever he wants with the ability Hellfire. He already has the max attack speed being 0.5 seconds between each shot. Building attack speed on him only reduces the speed of your reload, not the fire rate, just so you know. Talking about Hellfire, let's get into that ability first. Like I said, it makes you able to reload whenever you want, and also your final round being the 4th shot deals extra damage, but the damage from Hellfire is ability damage instead of basic, so the final shot will do both types of damage. It costs no mana and is like an active passive. Not much else to say on this ability really. The extra damage on the 4th shot is quite a big deal, making sure you use that to help with the last hit, and is the main final blow, especially late game, dealing damage to heroes. The next ability is Obliterate. In a nutshell, you spawn 10 like demon missiles at home to random targets within a current radius. The range of this ability is longer than the basic attack range, hard to pinpoint, but it seems to be around 1500 to 2000 units. It, as long as it detects the target, can go through walls and works as sort of a poking tool Revenant can use to finish up those kills just out of reach. Mana cost and cooldown is nothing crazy, but being able to be ability carry means his abilities cost more mana than most carries do. For damage, it's rather high, 120 at level 1. If all those hit the same hero, it's better damage than those caster high damage poke abilities like Harry's Rocket. At level 4, it deals 360 damage, while the thing that makes this ability quite crazy is its scaling, having a 1.4 scaling on power. That's more than casters have with their high damage abilities again, being 1.25 power scaling. So if you have a very heavy power build rather than crit, this ability late game can do a 600 odd damage, which is insane extra damage for a carry. My opinion on it? Well, against one-on-one engagements like with his ultimate or aiming, it's more to focus on a certain hero and is where the ability shines. But say if there's a minion wave between you and the enemy escaping, then all the hits will hit the minions and do nothing to the enemy hero. So you have to play around it to make sure as much damage is focused on where you want it, not making it as strong as it sounds on paper. So you shoot your 4 shots, use Obliterate while reloading and then go again. Then we have Scar. It's pretty simple, it works sort of like a damage buff. For 5 seconds you have a limited amount of instances to deal extra ability damage. Cooldown and mana are very low, while you have to be rather close to hit an enemy with this ability. Again, another ability that combos with its ult, focusing on a single hero and maximising the mana damage output. Best used before targeting in hero or at the start of your ult. You just have to be within a decent range to pull it off, and sometimes the extra second casting ability may not be worth it if you need to burst down a hero very quickly. And finally, we have his ultimate Reckoning. I know, sounds spooky. Revenant pulls himself and a picked target into the nether realm. Then they must duel for a set period in time unless one of them dies. If Revenant kills the target, he gains additional CXP, being quite significant even at level 1. When both are inside the nether realm, only Revenant is invisible, while the enemy hero, as you can see here on this sticker, we can see, but also has a red aura around her, so we know she has been targeted by the enemy's Revenant's ult. I believe damage and CC still hits while in the nether realm, but I'm not 100% sure on this just yet. A lot of experimenting has happened, but I can't confirm yet. So, what do I think of it? I think it's actually a high skilled ultimate that, if used correctly, can early game boost Revenant's card experience massively, and late game can be a game changer in a fight, focusing a certain opponent while having not to worry about the rest of the enemy team and killing them off very quickly. Only other use for it is to escape. If you're getting ganked by 3 enemies, then use your ult and distance yourself from them as long as the target isn't attacking you. That does it for a general summary of his abilities, but how does Revenant fare in game? In my opinion, so far I feel he's one of the best balanced and interesting heroes we've had for a very long time. We're sure he is on the strong side, but it's not like he's crazy as Molgus or Aurora OP status, which is a nice change of pace. With his reload and being an ability carry makes him a unique hero, and there are more than 2 ways you can build him, one being ability penetration and focus more on power than crit. This will make your scaling on extra ability damage with Hellfire rounds, Obliteration and that card's dinner boost, which we'll get into in just a second, more effective to mid game. But crit side of things is more of a late game build, to help with objectives like Raptor's Orb, and doesn't focus as much on your ability damage but with your basic attacks. It still works out very well, just because how damaged his abilities are compared to other carries means crit basic attacks won't be dealing as much. I'm honestly surprised how balanced he is with both builds, not one of them in my experience, and looking at the numbers seems massively superior to the other. With cards you have a lot of options, having fewer in corruption affinities. Most importantly, you want to add some lifesteal and mobility to him. His biggest weakness is he has no mobility. His positioning similar to Sparrow's is very key. Stab Blink or Blink Shot would be a nice idea for him. Blink Shot has a longer cooldown but can use it any time, while Stab Blink uses up some of your health, reason why lifesteal is needed, but has a low cooldown as long as you don't get damaged. Stinner Boost, which after you use an ability, 20% of your power will apply into extra ability damage into your next basic attack, which is amazing for him as Hellfire rounds triggers this, so your first round does additional damage automatically. On the build I'm doing now, which is a high power build, I'm doing about 218 damage per basic attack, but during my first shot I have an extra 88 ability damage just due to Stinner Boost. It makes a big difference. Also for attack speed, like I said at the start, it reduces the reload speed rather than actual fire rate, but I see really no significant difference even with a decent amount of attack speed on, so that's a stat you don't really want to put too much card power in. But anyway, these are my personal favourites, but other cards like Scorching Tails and Fire Piercer are good comboing his abilities and basic attacks to reduce enemies' armour for maximum damage. I don't want to drag this video out super long, but that does it for his abilities and how he works, and what builds and cards work with him. My overview of this hero is that he's in a very strong spot but has his weaknesses. Yin and Seraph, even Bellica, are very hard counters to him, and they are all in the current meta, so he better watch out. The game I recorded with him, you can see how much of a pain this Seraph player was. Mind you, my team wasn't the best at peeling, but she still focused me down and killed me most times. His ultimate with having a short duration isn't broken or P, which we are all concerned, so overall a very top tier carry but not on the levels of Seraph Yin, which I personally think need a little nerf to get in line, but maybe I'll do another video looking at carries who need to be buffed and nerfed in another video. But thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, plenty more on my channel, and I'll see you next time.